Hello, this is Yaakov Kronenberg from Jerusalem, and tonight we're going to be starting a new series of classes on Leo ascendant and the ruling planet, the sun, in the different houses. And this is, I hope, going to be an interesting series. And let's start off. I think we should start off with an overview of the Leo ascendant. What exactly is a Leo ascendant? Leo ascendant, if you always want to get a quick idea of what the ascendant is about, you can always break it down into its components and start to talk from there. And the Leo really is, it's a fire sign, right? It's the hottest month of the year, basically, and so it's got a lot of heat. It's a fire sign. A fire sign always wants to rise, it's a person who wants to burn off the impurities and purify themselves in its classic example. And the Leo is also, it's a fixed sign. The person stands up for what he believes in. He doesn't go to left and to right according to prevailing winds, the shifting winds. When he has problems with adversaries, he stands his path and doesn't get let up. And it's an interesting Leo is a sign. It's the fifth sign. It rules the fifth house. It rules the house of fifth house, for example, rules a number of things. It rules politics. Alright, a lot of people, it's the sign of the king. And the king is, the king wants to rule. He wants to be in charge of things. And you see all Leos, whatever sphere of life they're in, whether they're working, in a large groups or small groups, they're always the leader of their group, They have the ability to coalesce people around them. Just like this, all the planets revolve around the sun. Also the sun in any group, it tends to be the leader of that group, and everybody else sort of, revolves around him or her. And they become and the king, the king or the queen, and they want to give out favors. The king and the king and the queen, the Leos, they like to give out favors. They're people you can ask for favors. That's the king and the queen. And the king, always, you see in politics, really, you see now there's an election year in America, and always election years, you see how dependent the king is on money, right? The Leo fulfills itself in the 10th house, right? And on the 10th house is what sign? Taurus, money. In order to be a king, you need money. To get re-elected, you need money to buy ads and to buy votes and to buy things. And that's the Leo is always beholden to big money. Right? Because that's to be a king, you got to be able to do favors. You got to be able to help people. You got to go out, and promise them everything, And so they're always, trying to raise money, the Leos, because they. In any case, I think it's a divine right to the king. It's a divine right of the king to have money. But in any case, you see the Leos, they a lot of times they get into trouble because of money. Politicians, that's their big, in America they also have trouble with women or, affairs and things like that. But the big problem, for the most part with politicians is money, because they're always, you need money to stay in office, and they'll do things to get that money, and it always gets them in trouble. So that's what a Leo tends to has to worry about that. Leo also, the fifth house rules speculation. The Leos, they like to gamble. They like to they're good investors, right? The best investors are the Leos. They know how to handle money. They know how to invest, to speculate. Again, if it's a bad Leo, Sun in Leo aspected by bad aspects, they could, lose a lot of money also in gambling and speculations, investments, and things like that. And it's also theatrics, the 5th house. The Leo loves theatrics, the theater, things like that. They're good actors, right? The politician basically is where they say it's a politician is a person who's not handsome enough to be an actor or pretty enough to be an actress, something like that. Because it's a theater, it's a game. You're trying to get people to vote for you, and you're willing, and you're acting a part. And that part is to get people to vote for you. And so we see that also in the Leo personality. But the Leos, they're very good friends. They're very good. They're very loyal. They're very devoted. They care about people. And the sun, the sun is the planet that rules Leo, of course, is the sun, and the sun is, is the center of the earth, and everything revolves about that, and it's the planet that heats up the earth. It's a life-giving force, right? Without the sun, there would be no real life. It gives off light. It gives off. It brings light into the world, and the Leos, they tend to bring in the light into things. They're the life of the body. They're the people that, the life makers. They're the life of the body. They love partying and stuff like that. Right, for example, we're talking about last time, if you want to learn the planet, the sign, you look at where it say it's in detriment. So Leo is in detriment in Saturn. They don't like to be in darkness. They don't like to be alone. Right? The Saturn is the loner, that likes to be alone, and doesn't like the guy who likes to work all the time and hates to go to parties. And so the Leo just doesn't feel good in Saturn. And so you see that the Leo is the life of the party, wherever you see the action, that's where the Leo is. And so it's a very outgoing sign. It's one of the most outgoing signs of the zodiac. It's masculine. Again, if you're talking about the essential nature, it's masculine as opposed to feminine. It initiates things. It's a starter. It gets the ball rolling. It's the person who makes the gets the party rolling, and that's the Leo. The Leo, they make great organizers. They like to organize things. They'll organize things and then run them. That's the Leo nature. And so altogether, Leo is again, it's a very interesting sign, and so wherever you have the sun, if you talk about what we were saying, so you have a Leo rising, and then you look to the sun, which house it's in is going to tell you how the Leo, in which area of life, this Leo is going to use his Leonian type of nature. Right? If he has it in the 5th house, he's going to use it maybe in politics to express, to fulfill his Leo side of himself. He might be that outgoing politician or something like that, who wants to organize, wants to run everything, or he might be a speculator, a financial head of a big investment company, or something like that, or it could be somebody that expresses Leo nature through acting. If it's in the the 10th, let's say the 9th house, he might express it through his religious beliefs. Might want to go into becoming like a religious type of leader or something like that. And again, you look through each house, right, and you'll see how it manifests itself, and that's what we'll be doing for the next couple weeks. And I thank everybody for listening.